This is The Launch, episode 29 for July 29th, 2025. Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, we greet you all a good morning, a good evening, or whenever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings indeed to one and all. This is The Launch. My name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Angela. We got a nice smattering of a show for you today. Real delicious one, so let me just cover a few things. We'd love it if you called the show. You can do it right now, or you can do it after the fact and leave us a voicemail. 774-462-5667. Let me say it again. 774-462-5667. And you can always join us live on a Tuesday. Check us at jupiterbroadcasting.com/calendar or in your podcasting 2.0 app. And the show releases Wednesday morning, assuming everything works as planned. Weeklylaunch.rocks is our website. You can find a link to our chat room, past episodes, and all of that good stuff over there. That's weeklylaunch.rocks. That's a good resource for after the show. Now, Andrews, as we get into it this week, something that I've never said about you, but it's true.
Okay.
You don't wear a lot of branded stuff.
Mm-mm.
I don't, I've known you since what was it, No Fear? What was that meme? Remember people had like the No Fear, like bumper stickers and shirts?
Mm-mm.
Oh, and you don't remember the Big Johnson ones? Do you remember those? Really?
No.
These are all from our time.
Okay.
You don't remember No Fear? That was when we were in high school.
No.
No Fear t-shirts, really? Come on.
Bring it up. Let me see.
I think maybe I'm misremembering the... Yeah, kind of looked... You don't remember that right there?
No. God, that looks 80s.
Oh, well, it was 90s. Yeah, and the eyeballs. Yeah, that was all over high school.
Okay, well, I fail.
Well, you never wore this kind of stuff.
No, I was never...
You never did.
Mm-mm.
That's where I was going with it. So
Okay.
It doesn't surprise me all that much that it might have missed you. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's expose your big secret. Why don't you wear shirts with phrases on them or brands?
Well, I've never been drawn towards popular brands, and I was raised with a modest income, I guess. So we shopped a lot at the thrift store, and I've always liked thrift store clothes. And now, with kids, and with myself, like I can buy something, and I know that one, if I ruin it, it's not that big on the pocketbook.
$80 or whatever.
Right. And two, it's probably already ruined, right? So like if it's going to shrink, it probably already did. Yeah, so it's not going to shrink again.
It's like getting a car that already has a few scratches on it. You're like, well, now I don't have to worry.
Yeah, kind of like that. But I was getting dressed this morning and I thought, what should I wear? And there's a couple of things. So I have a shirt that says, underestimate me, that'll be fun, which I really like. I found that last November at the thrift store. But I didn't feel like wearing that today.
No, that's a phrase.
Because it's a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was looking through my scrapbook from my graduation, and I don't know if you remember the picture of you. You were wearing that blue shirt that I got you that says www.biteme.com.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And
teenagers are such a pain in the butt. I'm wearing that at graduation?
At my high school graduation.
Yeah, I do remember it now, and it's a T-shirt, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Teenagers.
Well, so, I did all of Chris's shopping for, as long as we were together. And I would get him these phrase shirts. And at some point, he's like, this is just not professional. I'm not going to wear this. And so, thus ended the phrases on shirts. So anyway, I thought that was like a whole little...
It's something I don't think we think a lot about. Like the other one that gets me, and I'm not that I'd never do this. I obviously do this, especially with swag. But it's strange that we walk around with brands on our shirts, especially brands that are just the brands that make the shirt. So not even like a Red Hat, branded shirt,
right.
But like whoever makes the shirt, Tommy, whatever, But on the shirt, it's so weird that we walk around advertising these products. We look like, I hate to say it, but it's like the ultimate consumer.
Yeah. Yeah. Dylan actually is very similar to your feelings, mid-20s when you stopped wearing phrase shirts. He doesn't like people staring and trying to read his shirts, right?
Oh.
That's the first thing. Second thing, though, he doesn't want a front and center shirt, icon or logo on his shirt, like really big in the middle. But I got him a couple years ago a black shirt with a fake pocket that has a banana sticking
That
out
is-
of it.
that is a
and
good
he
one.
loves it.
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah.
And I don't think he's listening. He's upstairs, but I don't think he's listening. I got him a men's small version because it is getting a little small on him. And he can finally fit in men's sizes now that he's taller than me. Oh my gosh. And so anyway, he likes that, like a subtle, but not super loud. And,
Yeah,
and
I like that.
the kid loves bananas.
I was for a time huge into those like Think Geek shirts that had like catchy tech phrases on them.
Yeah. There was one on my, on this day on Facebook. It was Geek by Nature, Linux by choice.
Oh, yep,
Yeah.
that was a good
Yeah,
one.
I was trying to remember if
The other
not
one, of
swap
course,
them.
the famous one was "No, I will not fix your computer."
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few. There's no place like 127.0.0.1 and
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of fun ones. But these days, it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a good fit. So
Is
I think
it these days or is it these ages?
ages. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's probably the ages.
Hybrid's right too. Like I think so. My uniform would probably have no branding on it unless it was my own branding.
Yeah.
Because then it's like,
Yeah.
well, that seems appropriate. Your own branding or
Right.
the brand of something you really like a company or a product like that. I'm fine with, right? If you're huge into Ford and you want to wear a Ford hat or a Ford shirt, go for it, right?
Go Ford it.
Go for it. I've got just to kind of be ironically funny because I like to lean into pretending I'm a car guy. I got an O'Reilly's hat. I got and so I'm intentionally wearing it because it's branded. And then, you get used to it. And Brent and I tried to return a battery, but we went into an AutoZone and I'm wearing my O'Reilly's hat. And I'm such a car guy that I didn't really think about the fact that these places, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Napa, all their batteries are house brand.
Oh.
So, like, if you bring an O'Reilly battery to an AutoZone, it's immediately obvious to them it's not their battery, and they're not
Right.
going to accept a return, right? But so not only did we bring an
Wait, you
O'Reilly's.
tried to return an O'Reilly's to an auto?
Well, this is Brent's fault, but yes,
Oh my god.
it wasn't my idea.
That's
I blame Brent.
wow. Did
we-
they just laugh at you?
Well, the guy was actually quite nice, but then he's like, "I'm pretty sure you got it from O'Reilly's," and we're like, "Oh, really?" Because this was like an old battery.
Ah.
And we're like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Well, yeah." And then he points to my hat, and it's an O'Reilly's hat. And I'm like, oh. So I've done the branded thing, but not often. So I'm curious out there, those of you listening, do you wear shirts with phrases or brands on them? And if you do, why? If you don't, why not? And if you have some that your favorite, do you remember No Fear? Am I the only one? Do you remember that? No Fear, or the old, snarky tech sayings? I'd love to hear your take. Boost and let us know if you are for it or against it. Well, I didn't think we'd be talking about this one, but the T app has entered our domain of conversation. Are you familiar with this at all?
Not at all.
Oh, good.
Good.
Oh,
Good,
boy.
because I'm like, am I underprepared?
Get ready.
Okay.
So let me back up here a little bit. T was an app where women can review dates with men. So other women kind of have an idea if there's a guy they need to avoid.
Oh.
But you could see how that could probably also go.
Snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So here's a little setup, and then we'll get to what happened next.
Tonight on The Edge, we are spilling the tea on a new app aptly called Tea. It's where women only can post photos of men they're dating to summon input from other women.
All right, you guessed it. It's stirring up some major controversy. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack joins us live with the details. A piece, I should say, very appropriate for The Edge. What's going on here?
Well, we all might learn something tonight, Roop and Amy. So if you have TikTok in the last couple of days, you might have been scrolling through and seen something about this Tea app. If you're like me, you're not really on TikTok. It's taking 20-year-old women and it's creating kind of a frenzy. You're able to post men that you're dating to, elicit input from other women. It's got a lot of guys scared. Take a look.
How would you characterize dating as a 22-year-old?
Honestly, it kind of sucks.
Out of that, an app was born. It's called Tea, as in spill the tea or gossip. It's got Gen Z in a chokehold, spreading as it does on TikTok.
Mama, we made it. Look at that.
Whoever keeps posting my husband on the T app needs to stop.
Guys, I'm trending on the T app. I'm trending on the T app.
There's actually a waiting list to get on this thing.
You pass the waiting list. You have to submit a picture of your face.
Wow.
A waiting list too, right?
That's crazy. Yeah, because all the servers are going to go down from the
Well, I
rush.
suppose. And so it has a full KYC process where that's know your customer, where you have to identify yourself with your name, your address. You have to take a photo of your ID.
Wow.
And you have to take a selfie. Yeah.
I know there's groups on Facebook of Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Oh, really? So this is
Yeah.
just like an
extension of that,
yeah,
or like
scaled up version.
reimagined.
A picture of your face with an ID to prove that you are a girl, because no guys are allowed in the apps.
Emily, anonymous here and on the app, admittedly embarrassed, saying she's a frequent user. You can post photos of who you're dating to gauge other women's experiences with these men, so-called red and green flags. The reviews are rarely positive.
So it's kind of crazy. Like, both sides of the spectrum is really dictating my dating life now.
Emily says the T app seems to be particularly popular in Middle Eastern communities, especially Dearborn.
Oh, Dearborn men, how the T app has gotten under your skin.
All these guys are talking to, they're all like getting nervous, they're all freaking out, making TikToks about it.
It offers other services like background checks and catfish verification.
They're trying to find some type of way to up your reputation so bad.
I can see some areas where this could cause people some big problems.
Attorney William Barnwell says it's possible men getting posted have civil legal recourse. If the posts are affecting their work, family life, or reputation, defamation might apply.
Truth is an absolute defense to a defamation claim. So you can't just sue somebody because your feelings got hurt.
On the criminal side, there could be cause for electronic harassment or even stalking.
You can be saying something that is true, but it's being used in a way to constantly harass somebody, cyber harassment. There are laws that cover that.
He suggests to the ladies proceed with caution.
In people's outrage to want to out these bad people, it might be better sometimes just to walk away.
So I just finished corporate training, and they made it very clear that things that happen outside work on social media and such can definitely impact your job.
Yikes.
So,
yikes.
yeah.
Ooh, could you imagine if that came to... Oh, okay. So guess what? Surprise, surprise. After this app started getting more popularity in the last couple of weeks, 'cause it's actually been around for a little while, it was pretty quickly compromised. And it was compromised in a kind of dramatic way because they did pretty poor...
It was dudes that compromised?
I would assume. It was 4chaners, so I would assume they're dudes.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Oh, the difference a week can make. An app designed to let women safely and anonymously discuss the men they date has been hacked.
Okay. Let's get to Makia with more of the details. I find it hard to believe anything is truly anonymous, and unfortunately, in this case, we found out that may be the case.
Yeah, unfortunately, so this T app that everyone has been talking about 72,000 images have been leaked online, and that includes pictures and photo IDs of users that are submitted during account verification. Now, T presents itself as a safe way for women to vet men that they may connect with on dating apps. T says no email addresses or phone numbers were accessed in this cyber attack. But according to the company, the breach only affects users who signed up before February 2024.
It turns out that actually isn't true. So before we get there, one false claim that was exposed is the app says right there when you're taking your selfie, it basically says, don't worry, we're going to delete these selfies after we're done. They didn't.
Nope.
They were all just sitting on a Firebase account and they got exposed. And then another false claim is they say that it only involved users since 2024. Well, a second breach revealed that messages as recent as a week ago, including discussions about abortions, cheating, and phone numbers have been accessible and leaked online. Yeah. 1 million messages.
Well, again, corporate training, this company is like liable for all of this personal identifying information. Like, it can all be connected. Wow. How's the app even still open?
I know. And at first, I'm not sure about now, but at first they're like, don't worry, it's limited. And their email and their phone number didn't get leaked, but their location did. So somebody...
Well, and their ID has a physical address and their picture.
Somebody very quickly, because of that, put together a website with a pin from every user. So you could open up a map and you could see where every one of these users was at.
Oh, my gosh. Of course.
Yeah. Serious.
Wow.
And what I think this underscores is actually the danger of collecting this kind of information in the first place. Obviously, this app was poorly designed.
Right.
And we'll probably learn more about that. But if they weren't required or didn't need to collect this information in the first place, they couldn't have leaked or lost it.
Yeah.
And we're going in a direction in the UK and other places where you have to do all this kind of verification. And The federal government floated some legislation recently that was the idea of essentially doing KYC for using cloud services. So if you want to sign up for DigitalOcean or Linode or Amazon Web Services, you'd have to KYC.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I've only provided my ID and like a selfie two occasions. One was Coinbase.
Right.
And the other was to make a payment to the IRS.
Yeah, it's usually involving anything payments-wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm like,
Yeah, but see, the argument is now that identity is becoming harder and harder to prove online. And in this app, it particularly relied on verifying that it was females only.
Mm-hmm.
Someone also created a competing app for men to review women called Box. And I don't know how that one's going. But T was...
Well, I'm sure it's not hacked yet.
Before it got hacked, for a few days, Box hasn't, but T was the #1 app in the Apple App Store for a few days before it got hacked.
Wow.
It seems like dating apps would have solved this.
See, the thing is I don't know that I would trust other women. Women have issues that could have caused the bad,
There's always two sides to every
Yeah,
story.
Exactly.
I know.
So
I don't like it.
Trust a random woman?
I'm wondering, though, is there how Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft have solved this, where there's ratings on both sides, or Airbnb?
Invite the dude that you just went on a date with to rate.
I mean, is that where we live now? I don't know. Like, it sounds like a real mess, and it sounds like it could get real toxic very fast.
Oh yeah, social score like China.
Yeah, and I really feel for these ladies too, some of them are just trying to be safe, and then they go get all their information. I wouldn't feel safe after having all my information leaked, and then if the things you said about some of these people gets back to them now, and just creates a really dangerous situation potentially. So something that some people thought was keeping them safe just made them a lot more exposed. And I kind of put the fingers at poor design, because some of the stuff was just sitting out in public, unencrypted.
Weird.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Just
do they not have lawyers, a lawyer team to?
Well, some people are suggesting maybe it was vibe coded. Who knows? Thrown together. I don't think so. This app's been around longer than vibe coding's been a meme. T has taken the affected systems that they're aware of offline, but the damage is done. Mm-hmm. So that's a wild story that we're watching going on. I'll watch for the technical details if we get to learn more. And if you hear of anything, let us know. Well, we've been talking about AI in the workplace for the last couple of episodes, and I think I'm finally in sync with the rest of the world, or the rest of the world is getting in sync with me, I should say. And that is from the very from day friggin' one. I have found Sam Altman's AI is going to destroy the world hype sales pitch as extremely tiring. It's been obvious from day one that his strategy is to claim he's building something so powerful that it creates this sales myth around it. And then he really doesn't deliver on anything that's actually all of that impressive or scary. But I want to go through a couple of his most recent claims, because he's been on a bit of a tour. He's been on multiple podcasts. He's been doing events. And we've gotten some recent audio from him that I think is worth going over, especially, for you, Ange, as you're kind of getting your toes into AI and ChatGPT world. Sam Altman, of course, runs OpenAI, who makes ChatGPT. And he says that there is an insane vulnerability that could profoundly disrupt society. And it's crazy that we're not working on it yet, because AI is going to be so good at this so soon. We have to move right away. I'll let him say it.
I am very nervous about this. A thing that terrifies me is apparently there are still some financial institutions that will accept a voice print as authentication for you to move a lot of money or do something else. You say a challenge phrase and they just do it. That is a crazy thing to still be doing. AI has fully defeated that. AI has fully defeated most of the ways that people authenticate currently, other than passwords, but all of these fancy, take a selfie and wave or do your voice or whatever. I am very nervous that we have a significant impending fraud crisis because of this.
So he takes a kernel of truth and then he turns it up to 11 with the fear porn, which is actually a reverse sales tactic to tell you how powerful the tools he's making are.
Yeah.
And it, first of all, is a baked-in assumption that the authentication technology can't improve. Because wouldn't there be a version of Sam Altman that's telling you the tools we're building and the intelligence that we're building is going to help prevent fraud at a whole new scale with a whole new kind of capability. It'll prevent fraud like no humans and our previous tools could have ever prevented fraud because of the incredible intelligence of OpenAI, right? But instead, we're getting the flip story.
Mm-hmm.
So you could play it either way he wants, but it also presumes that the authentication and verification technology doesn't also get better and doesn't also learn ways of sussing out AI. But then additionally, what's the last time you interfaced with a financial institution that authenticated you via voice? It's not a super common thing. I mean,
No.
maybe some people do it, but it's just not really a common thing.
I was just thinking the other day that in collections, there were collectors that would call the bank and because they knew the last four of the social security number and the bank account number, and
really?
they'd be able to check the bank account balance so they could know whether or not they could,
Yes.
whether it was worth suing them or not.
Right. Oh, tricky.
For the debt. Yeah, I know. And so I hope it is better than that
Well, yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you definitely always, the point could be made, we always have to be improving these tools. And there probably needs to be multiple points of identification if you're moving like $1 billion.
I've never experienced, I've never experienced a voice activated anything ever in my life.
And what phone system has the clarity to appropriately do that? Like phone systems are super low bandwidth. You're not going to be able to get.
Yeah.
It's just kind of here's another fear example.
It's a rich person problem, maybe.
It may be, yeah. So one of the things that opens up an opportunity for Sam to go into the sales mode is the topic of OpenAI and AI in general is pretty complicated and pretty nuanced. Plus, OpenAI as a company is pretty vague about their future developments and where things are going, with a lot of claims that have been made. So you can actually kind of empathize with an interviewer. What are they supposed to ask? Where can they go in the conversation when there aren't really concrete details about anything, and you can't expect them to become AI engineers and scientists so that way they can properly interview Sam. That's just not realistic for somebody that's just doing an interview. So there's only real one direction they can go that everybody can connect with, that everybody can relate to, and that's fear and things that are scary, because that everybody can feel and understand, and it doesn't require that you have a deep understanding of the technology. So a lot of times, just naturally, these interviews go in the direction of asking Sam what's scary. So Sam is able to embrace that and just sell like a maniac, like a psycho killer. Take a listen. He was recently on Theo Vaughn's podcast called This Past Weekend, and Theo takes it in the only direction he knows where to go.
What's like one of your fears? Like what's a fear you have of AI? Like if you have like a fearful space that it could go, like I know you mentioned it a little bit.
This morning, I was testing our new model and I got emailed a question that I didn't quite understand. And I put it in the model, this GPT-5, and it answered it perfectly. And I really kind of sat back in my chair and I was just like, oh man, here it is moment.
I'll stop here.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weird that the CEO of OpenAI at this point in the development cycle of GPT-5 is surprised by what it can and can't do when it comes to answering email. That seems off.
Mm-hmm.
But just the entire, like the way he's building this, like now look at me, I'm like this useless human now.
Right? Yeah, that's 100% what he said.
Yeah.
And I got over it quickly. I got busy onto the next thing. But it was like, it's what kind of we were talking about. I felt like useless relative to the AI and this thing that I felt like I should have been able to do and I couldn't, and it was really hard, but the AI just did it like that.
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling.
I don't know. That doesn't mean it was a good answer. Like, you know how if you want to ask somebody something, you could frame it in such a way that you can get them to answer.
For sure.
Like that's
what happens.
Of course he thinks it's a good answer, but it's
a sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
What he's telling you is this thing is so powerful that it surprises me. So just wait till we give it to you for $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. And he goes around scaring the crap out of everybody in some sort of weird kind of reverse psychology sales job is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's a reverse psychology sales job. If you go talk, by the way, also, I thought maybe we'll mention this. I do appreciate that Sam has actually been very forward about one particular thing when it comes to using ChatGPT, and that is whatever you tell it, they are very likely going to have to hand over to authorities if they were ever to be subpoenaed for some reason. And I appreciate, actually, that he's upfront about that, and he's not hiding that.
I think we will certainly need a legal or a policy framework for AI. One example that we've been thinking about a lot, this is like maybe not quite what you're asking, this is like a very human-centric version of that question. People talk about the most personal shit in their lives to ChatGPT. It's, people use it, young people especially, like use it as a therapist, a life coach, having these relationship problems, what should I do? And right now, if you talk to a therapist or a lawyer or a doctor about those problems, there's like legal privilege for it. There's doctor-patient confidentiality, there's legal confidentiality, whatever. And we haven't figured that out yet for when you talk to ChatGPT. So if you go talk to ChatGPT about your most sensitive stuff and then there's like a lawsuit or whatever, like we could be required to produce that. And I think that's very screwed up. I think we should have like the same concept of privacy for your conversations with AI that we do with a therapist or whatever. And no one had to think about that even a year ago. And now I think it's this huge issue of like, how are we going to treat the laws around this?
Well, do you think there should be like kind of like a slowing things down before we move there kind of? Because, yeah, that is kind of wild. It's one of the reasons I get scared sometimes to use certain AI stuff because
it's just the language.
I don't know how much personal information
Scared, I don't know. Should we slow down? It's
human-centric.
Human-centric. This is always the direction the conversations go. And, of course, there is no slowing down. You cannot stop this train. You could slow down individual companies, but you're not going to slow down the technological innovation. And even if you were to somehow slow down all the companies in the United States, DeepSeek was created in China. You're going to have innovations outside the United States. Turns out there's other countries too. So you can't just slow it down. There's no knob to turn. But I do think he's going to be lobbying, and maybe he should be, for some sort of legal immunity, privacy protection, something that we haven't seen Google or Apple or other tech companies try to do for their end users. Maybe it's a good thing. But you should be aware, if you're giving AI personal information, it's going to remember it about you. And maybe they'll recall that at some point. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. But there you go, Andrews. There's your AI update. I mean, it's like I don't really like the people leading these things.
Yeah.
I don't like the people leading a couple of these different things, but I like the tools and I do use the tools. And I do think there is ultimately some very good uses for them. Maybe therapy could be one of them. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe you could build the ultimate AI therapist that has been trained from hundreds of other sources, books and therapists, and maybe one day you could. Especially if we ever got to the point where humans could actually train these models directly, like if there could be some sort of interaction with, imagine, I don't know, OpenAI hires 100 therapists and they all work to train a therapy model. Like maybe that actually would be useful.
Cool.
But you would have to be very aware of the privacy implications of that. And I think a lot of people that are grabbing these chatbots, they're not thinking about that. They're not yet, at least. All right, what do you say we take a little break?
Yep.
Shake it up. I got a fun song. It's by the Dorfells, who are probably one of the most famous value for value artists in the value for value verse. So if you boost during this song, 95% of your sats will go directly to them and their team. And this one, it's a funky remix. It's called Bloodshot Lies.
1 minute we were smiling for a picture on your phone, and now a call of voices saying that you're not at home. Too many closing times, too many Uber rides. When you lose yourself, you know where to find me. You can't believe in all the filters that you're posing through. Can't hide the real inside the person I thought I knew. So many storylines all tangled up inside with what you think is true. I don't even know you now. I'm not sure you let me down, because I don't know if we really ever got that high. I can tell you see through eyes. Wonder was it waste through goodbyes? 'Cause you keep telling me, you keep telling me, you keep telling me all these bloodshot lines. You live your life in a mirror, and it won't get any clearer until you find a way to see through all the broken glass. Can we go back to all those Saturday mornings. You used to shine so bright even when it was pouring. And as the storms blew by, it was just you and I don't even know you now. I'm not sure you let me down, because I don't know if we really ever got that high. I look into your see-through eyes, wonder was it wasted goodbyes. You keep telling me, you keep telling me, you keep telling me all these bloodshot lies, all the promises you wasted on your youth. You told so many lies that you believe that it's the truth. You be what you want to be, if that's more important, if that's more important, if that's more important than me. 2, 3, 4. I don't even know you now. I'm not sure you let me down, because I don't know if we really ever got that high. Yeah. I look into your see-through eyes, wonder was it wasted goodbyes. 'Cause you keep telling me, you keep telling me, you keep telling me all these bloodshot lies.
And now, on with the show.
We got a nice batch of voicemails this week, and we do love those voicemails. Give us a call.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick call to my launch. I haven't checked in since yesterday. 774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
And Kevin from North Carolina is our first caller this week.
Hi there, Launch, Chris and Angela. In the very beginning of the current episode, I heard Pluralsight. My employer is has subscription for all of us, and it has been helpful, especially because we had an intern come in who was just between sophomore and junior year, and he had a lot of things to learn stepping into a big company with languages he didn't know, etc. And he was very happy to leverage that. So chalk one up for Pluralsight. And then the conversation about AIs, the private AIs with the company information, there's a challenge there too, right? You have to keep any PII out of there because you don't know for certain it won't leak out into some of their other stuff, even though they tell you it won't.
Exactly.
My employer is standing up its own instance of some LLMs, and we work with documents that we create for the company isms, and we work with vendor documentation. I also in a technical role, and you're looking up things like API references. Well, that's not in our own documents, and it's websites, so you can't exactly download the PDF of it, and who would want to? So it's a challenge. I found GitHub Copilot to be super helpful at script writing and stuff. I need a function to do this. Bloop, you have it in a few seconds. That's pretty good. Anyways, enjoying the show. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll be listening. Oh, and this is Kevin from Raleigh.
Kevin, I'd be interested to hear a follow-up on how the internal LLM experiments go, and if they're as useful at, say, script generation as Copilot.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It sounds like he's going through some of the same stuff you are.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear Pluralsight's been useful. A guy named Ryan's back.
Hello there, JB Launch Crew. This is a guy named Ryan. Long time, 10th time. Double digits, baby. I think the prompt for this week was a skill that you never thought you'd have. And the first thing that came to my mind was I can now field strip a swamp cooler or an evaporative cooler, probably blindfolded, right? So a couple of years back, I moved back to New Mexico to be close to my parents. And they've got one of these cursed things up on their roof. And I don't know why, but it has decided to just keep dying about every 1 or 2 weeks. Something needs to be replaced or fixed. And so now at this point, I know exactly every single solitary nook and cranny of one of those guys, all the parts that could go into it. I mean, they're not very complicated machines, to be honest. But that is definitely a skill I never expected to have and really wish I didn't need. Anyway, love the shows. Keep up the great work, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Congrats on the Big Ten. Well done. You know, I also have been, 'tis the season, I suppose. I've been geeking out recently on air conditioners, trying to find like a more efficient air conditioner, because the air conditioner system I have, it's on and then it's off. And then it's on, and then it's off. It doesn't vary the speed.
Sure.
And so, like, you'll hear the compressor, it'll turn on, and then, 30 minutes later after it's cooled down or whatever, you'll hear the compressor turn off, and then, maybe 20 minutes later, it's like if it could just keep running, but at 20%, it'd be much better. So I know what you mean. Been digging into that stuff. Thanks for the call. And somebody's got to fix a swamp cooler. It is hot out there.
Yep, your parents are lucky.
Now, Arando came in with the 411.
Hey, Chris, this is Random Listener. I was just listening to the latest episode of Linux Action Show. Nope, not Linux Action Show. Linux Unplugged. And you were talking about how much you're paying for hosted solution for your phone system. You should really look into 3CX. I believe you should be able to get the software all set up in a day on the hosted solution, even in Google Cloud or even on any other hardware you have. And I don't know, $6 a month is how much we spend on Google Cloud Compute for that. It's ridiculously cheap. And then whatever you're spending on your SIP trunk, there's a bunch of options out there. Also cheap. But keep up the good work. Love the show. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, Random. Wes Payne has been trying to talk me into just self-hosting it, because he actually has quite a bit of experience with SIP systems and phone plumbing. It's one of those few skills you wouldn't expect him to have, but he actually has it down pretty well.
There we go. He didn't even have to answer that question.
But when we launched quick, and we're like, let's get a phone going, and yeah. So that is a good tip. It's probably something we'll revisit, assuming the show survives. Now, this next guy, I don't think his name is Clown14, but it sounds like he says Clown14.
Now we're all ruined. That's what we're going to hear.
I know. I'm sorry. I pre-fired you.
Yep.
And also, I think he's Clown14 from North Carolina.
Hey guys, this is Cloud1494 calling from North Carolina. I just had some thoughts about this whole AI thing. After hearing this story recently, that the Candy Crush developers that developed the levels for the Candy Crush Saga game got replaced with their own AI and fired. The AI that they helped develop, I think it's actually completely, utterly offensive that they can that people even let that continue. If I were asked to develop an AI system at this point, I would not trust that AI system wouldn't end up replacing me. I would just as soon quit my job. Anyway, just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. Thanks for the great show, guys.
Yeah, that is weird, right? You train your replacement, but I'll tell you, wasn't just but a lifetime ago I was working in IT at a bank, and they brought in these contractors to help with some projects. Mm-hmm. And what we did was we trained the contractors, and then they fired us all. And so they do it with contractors too.
So around that same time, I was working at a collection agency, and they did the same thing. Big Bank of America closed down in downtown Seattle. They brought these people in as consultants, and then they let people go.
Yeah. Yeah, so now they're just doing it with AI at scale. Oh, God. I hate that, though. I hate the training the replacement thing. All right. Thank you, Clearly Cloud or Clown14. Appreciate the call. Hybrid Sarcasm's back.
Hey, Launch Crew. This is Hybrid Sarcasm checking in. Wanted to give my take on this ghosting topic. I have accidentally ghosted everyone that doesn't live in my house.
Yeah.
I had a sufficiently social life before getting married. Once I got married, my social life turned into our social life, but it was still respectable. We had our first child, and he is so colicky and high maintenance that we dropped off the face of the planet. And once life started to stabilize and become somewhat predictable, give him a little bit of breathing room, we had a second child. Now that we have 3 kids, I have to make a very concerted effort to call my parents. I have that one friend that, you send meme pictures to via text, back and forth and make each other laugh. But my actual real friends stay my real friends. And we pick up where we left off when we do get to connect, which is very, very seldom. Also, a little bit of feedback on the skills topic. Maybe handyman skills. I didn't know a lot when I had my first house and I was single. I have my second house and I'm married with a family, and I feel like I could probably start a decently respectable handyman business having done all the work on this house that I've done. Nothing so fancy as to be a professional electrician like PJ, but it could pay some bills. Anyway, that was unexpected, and thanks for listening.
So it's true hybrid. I thought it was very noticeable going from 2 kids to 3 kids because it changes your car. You go from, you could fit in any car to you need a car that can fit 3 kids, especially when they're young, and car seats and boosters and all that kind of stuff. And it goes from your folks or whoever, your family's oh yeah, I'll watch a kid. Or oh yeah, I can watch 2 kids. To, you want us to watch all 3 kids at the same time? And it everything just got a little bit more challenging, including socializing.
Well, and then even the first part of it, our first was had GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So Dylan spit up all the time, and my mom watched him once, and she was like, "Never again," as a baby. Yeah. So there was no babysitting Dylan at all,
despite what we were told for years.
Right. Yeah.
Years before. When are you gonna have kids? I can't wait to see them. I'll watch them. We'll have them over on the weekends. Yeah. Got that.
And actually, the other big change with 3 kids is when I told my parents that we were pregnant with our third. That was the end of going to their house.
Yeah.
They never.
It's too much.
I mean, aside from major holidays, I was taking Dylan and Abby there weekly.
Yeah.
To hang out with Grandma.
Yeah.
But nope. After that, they were not okay with that.
It was interesting how it changed things. So it's not too surprising to me that people don't have very large families anymore. It's just a lot. And then daycares, crazy.
It's really too bad.
Yeah. But I do feel what you're saying there about, slowly becoming a handyman over time. I feel if I had somebody, see, this is what we do, hybrid, we go into business together. If I had somebody that was good at the handyman woodworking stuff, I could handle the RV repair stuff. But a lot of RV repair work is actually woodwork. So I would need, you and I, I'll team up with my RV handyman skills. You team up with your handyman general skills. Boom! A hybrid business. RV business, right? Business. All right, thank you for the call. Now, Crashmaster, he's back.
Hey, JB, this is Crashmaster. I heard somewhere, and I can't remember if it was a member feed or if it was, somewhere, that Chris is interested in going to Singapore.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there a few times. Nice. It is a nice place. I guess a cross between Paris and New York and maybe London, maybe Dubai, kind of all rolled into one.
Really?
There's a lot of Indian culture, Chinese culture, some Western cultures mixed in, Europeans. It's definitely, a mix. It's definitely a modern city, nice, clean city. But it's hot, Chris. It's hot, really hot, and the flight takes a while. So just keep that in mind. It's always hot. So. It's plenty safe enough to walk around. There's plenty of things to do, and there are plenty of things to do indoors too. And if you're going to go that far, I'd recommend going to see Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia as well. Not as nice, but if you're right there anyway, you can probably meet up with a bunch of listeners in both places. But yeah, hot, very, very hot, both places. Have a great day. Bye.
I appreciate that. Crashmaster knows what matters. Today, though, right now, it's only 83 degrees.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, he sure made it sound real nice. And then he rugs me with it's really hot, though. Oh, man. I'm sure like 84 degrees is pretty mild for over there because, other times of the year it looks like it gets pretty hot. Sounds nice, though. London, Dubai, New York.
I can't remember the other
all
ones,
rolled
but
into
yeah.
one. All rolled into one. Now, the last voicemail, it hints at some pressure in the community. There is a movement afoot to save the launch.
Wait, what? The launch is in trouble? We gotta do something about that. You, send a boost. You, call in. You, send me an email. You, do a thing. Do some stuff. We gotta save the launch. Quick, save the launch.
Oh my God!
Four score and 7 boosts to go.
Well, we do have a couple of boosts to get to before we get out of here. So let's do that really quick because we appreciate everybody who supports the show with a boost. Send a message in and some value. And Adversary 17 is here with our baller boost. And Adversary sent in 32,768 sats.
All systems are functional.
He says, you asked why it takes so long to load people on a plane. You might like this. And he links me to a CPG Grey video about an alternative way to board planes.
Yeah.
And no, that does not make me feel better. I have suffered worse ever since I saw that video and I realized there's a better way. But I do recommend looking that up. He says, regarding AI at the company, healthcare in general is going very quickly into AI. And I work for a hospital. So it is what it is. Vendors are pushing us to use their latest AI features to do something or other. I'm not really a fan of AI in general because the people pushing it are like Sam Altman. But I'm not so sure. I'll probably be forced to use it eventually. And the real reason for the flock cameras are because criminal pigs are at large, causing a ruckus. That's true. Wiggly is out there causing a ruckus. He sent me a boost about the Genius Act. I think it might have been for TWIB.
Oh.
But watch out. Watch out. Watch out. But thank you, adversaries. It's very nice to hear from you. And thank you for that baller boost. PJ's here as our next baller booster with 22,222 sats.
I hoard that which your kind covet.
That's a big one, too. So I'm going to call it, a McDuck.
This old duck still got it.
Since pets and escape pets keep coming up, what's the most exotic pet you've had or would like to have one day? My dad captured and kept a baby Mojave green rattlesnake for a few years. It grew many rattles and would just let you know when you walked by its tank. His name was Captain A-Hole.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah. Mine would probably be fish.
Yeah.
I've had some interesting fish. I've definitely had some really interesting fish, but just the one that came to mind, PJ, when I read that was when I was a kid, probably a freshman in high school, I caught a bass out of my lake, and I put him in my freshwater tank. And then he grew large enough to eat all the other fish in the tank over time, even some big fish, except for one other fish. But he was a real thrill because he would reliably bite everyone that put their finger in the tank. So from my grandpa to all my buddies, I got them to put their finger in the tank, and he'd come up and he'd bite you, but it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But everybody was so startled.
That's funny.
And they'd pull their hand out of the tank. What did you expect? You just stuck your hand. Anyways, so the thing got so big that I eventually had to re-catch it, it was a fast sucker. I re-caught it and then had to let it go again because it was outgrowing the tank. Did you ever have any crazy exotic pets?
No, not really. Like, I think the most exotic was a rabbit named Spanky.
Ah.
Yeah.
Rabbits are great.
And then you and I had fish, and I think the Plecostomus were like so cool.
Yeah, they are.
Like so cool.
And they can get huge.
So big.
Yeah.
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 That was probably the most exotic.
What about you, PJ? I know you mentioned your dad's rattlesnake, but what about you? Is it dogs? Anything more exotic than that? Thanks for the boost. Outdoor Geeks here with 5,000 sats.
Oh my God, this drawer is filled with Fruit Loops.
He says, if you haven't already, check out Jenny's Parks, a Star Trek cat books from your local digital library.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Star Trek cats.
Yes.
That's good to know. How can I be a Star Trek fan for this many years and still be learning about this stuff? This is great. Star Trek cats. It's cats in space. And that one's a Spock cat. And that one's a Kirk cat. That one's a Scotty cat.
That is so cute.
That's pretty great. I'll show that to Bella. Turd Ferguson's here with 10,000 sats.
Turd Ferguson! Boy, they are doing a lot with mayo these days.
Turd says sending value for episode 29. Boost! Thank you, Turd. Nice to hear from you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. Even those of you who just stream those sats silently, never send us an actual message, but just send values you listened. 8 of you did that. We stacked 5,581 sats that way. When you combine it with our boosters, the show ticked up a bit this week. We stacked 75,671 sats. Thank you, everybody who supports the show with a boost. Okay, I know we're running a little long. Well, longer than I intended to.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to leave you with this story because this one is, well, it kind of makes me want to move to Florida because only in Florida does something like this happen. Police bust in to a Chuck E. Cheese and arrest the Chuck E. Cheese mascot while he's in full uniform with the Chuck E. Cheese head on and everything.
Oh, my gosh.
While kids are in the middle of a birthday party.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Ange, it's something else.
New details into the arrest of Chuck E. Cheese, or at least the man who was dressed up as one. It happened at a restaurant in Tallahassee.
But a family from the Villages witnessed the entire thing while on vacation. As Fox 35's Randy Hildreth found out, it was a visit the kids will likely never forget.
Chuck E. Cheese got arrested.
It's been the talk of the Gegenheimer family for the last few days.
Like asking 100 questions of like, does this mean Chucky's gone forever? Like, what now?
The Central Florida family was snapped in the back of this now viral photo of Chuck E. Cheese getting arrested at a Tallahassee location.
Yeah, one of the patrons there got a photo of literally the cops escorting the Chuck E. Cheese mascot out, cuffed, behind arms and hands behind his back. He's got the Chuck E. Cheese gloves and helmet mask thing on, that big mouse head, as he's being escorted out the door by cops. And you can see in the background just a group of kids watching the entire thing go down.
The family had just gotten in town to visit Grandma. 4-year-old Lizzie says she was nearly ready to help Mr. Cheese.
I just didn't want to get arrested either. She's going to go help us. Then she saw the police and bam.
Mom says Lizzie had just taken a picture with the character, and 6-year-old Jenny was about to take one when police walked over.
I was in the midst of pushing Jenny towards Chucky. The cop grabbed one wrist and another one grabbed the other wrist, put it behind his back, told him not to resist. And like at the same time, I'm pulling my kids away. Like, what's going on in the midst of this?
According to the arrest affidavit, the man in the costume was Jermel Jones. He was arrested for credit card fraud. Police say he worked at the arcade and racked up a little over $100 in charges on a...
I like this guy. So, a customer leaves a credit card behind. Does he go buy a big screen TV? No. He buys himself some smokes. He gets himself some Whataburger. He goes to the Circle K and gets a beverage. He goes and gets a couple of meats from the meat deli. And I guess orders a replacement. There's a replacement card fee on here. But I just think it's hilarious. Like, the most thing he's spending his money on is, like, smokes and meat on this guy's stolen credit
just
card.
Just some basics.
Card left by a customer. Gegenheimer thinks he slipped on the costume to hide from police. She's glad he was caught, but wish he hadn't been arrested in front of the kids.
Wait
when
a
they
second.
had him at the truck, they took...
He slipped on the costume so he wasn't actually the hired Chuck E. Cheese
I'm not
guy?
sure. That's part of the story's not clear. He does work at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh my!
But he might not. Maybe they rotate who's mascot that day.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the kids had issue with it too because their dreams of Chuck E. Cheese being real were shattered by this.
Right.
Caught, but wish he hadn't been arrested in front of the kids.
When they had him at the truck, they took off his head and put it on top of the SUV truck. So then we went into it's kind of like, Chucky's got a lot of friends who help him so he can get to all the Chuck E. Cheese places at once, like trying to manage the magic still while we're watching now the man get undressed out of the costume outside.
This mom tried real hard.
Wow.
She's trying to manage the magic.
So bad.
All right, but I've been inspired. If you boost in to next week's episode with 3,333 sats, I'm going to say it's a cheese boost. It's a Chuck E. Cheese boost.
Chuck E. Cheese got arrested. dick.
And that'll be your
Soundbite.
boost soundbite.
Mhm.
I mean, come on, how great is that?
Yeah, that is.
Crazy. All right, that's your wild world for you, and I'll put a link to the entire video. It gets even funnier as you watch the video. It's kind of it's an unfortunate situation, but it is mildly hilarious, and it's a very Florida thing. So go check it out. Links to what we talked about today, like that one, are at weeklylaunch.rocks. And of course, we'd love it if you joined us live. Give it that special vibe. We've got a mumble room and we've got a chat room going all the time. Help us title it, interact with us, give us that live feedback. We love all of that. That's on Tuesdays, or you can catch the release version in your podcast app Wednesday morning. And of course, Jupiter Party members get a special extra extended bootleg version of the show. We appreciate you, Jupiter Party members. From the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast. Thank you for listening. See you next week.